everybody to Life as I See It with your hostess Dina Nierenberg, and today I have with me, as usual, my co-hostess Nina Avakian.
Hi Dina, how are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm great today, thank you.
And welcome to the show, and thank you so much for gracing us with your presence again. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, I'm so happy to be here again. I love this.
Me too. It's always a good time. This is actually one of the most relaxing times of my whole week. I gotta tell you, I'm a busy mom, a busy wife, a busy professional, and I find myself moving here, moving there, and I'm not really sure where to put myself a lot of the time. So I just kind of gotta learn how to go with the flow. And today's show is actually about how do we deal with our anxiety. And this time of year, there's actually a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of changes, and especially now with the pandemic, there's different ways in which we gotta work. I myself, I've been Zooming the entire September as per the rule of school, as per the rule of Toro. However, this upcoming Monday, I actually go back into the building where I will be doing something called hybrid teaching, in which there will be some students who are there present in the classroom, and some students will be Zooming from their homes. Now, what has me all worried? It's not the teaching. I've been doing that for 24 years. I'm so not worried about, teaching I've down pat. I am worried about working the technology and not making a total ass out of myself in front of my whole class. That's my only concern that I have about my work is, can I do the technical parts of my work?
But they should understand.
I pray.
Students, they should be human as well, and they all know how brilliant you are just to be around you.
Oh, thank you.
Just to hear your thoughts.
Thank you.
So it doesn't matter if the video camera, I think, will be from top or the bottom, or now it's,
or if I could turn it on at all.
yeah, exactly. You will figure it out.
I feel like every day I get calls from my office. So-and-so doesn't know how to work her Zoom. I'm like, how can I help that? I'm working from my home. I'm teaching from the house. So the student can't work the Zoom. Well, what does that have to do with me? And I get that all the time. So it only increases the anxiety. And I'm like, so what's going to happen Monday when I go back? And,
I think I know why you feel that, because I exactly feel the same way. I think when someone asks us something to do, it gives us almost immediate, because you are empath again. We're coming back to the same topic all the time. So when you're empath, you want immediately to serve and satisfy their needs, and anyone, whoever it would be. So, and to you, it's almost gives you that worry, right? And to me, it's always was giving me anger, because we're all different. So yes, and I started so the show is about, right, you told me how we deal with those feelings. It's so important that you and me, we know exactly what we actually feel, so we can take that and work with that. So
interesting.
Yeah, because you're an empath and you're a good person and you want to make it right and good, and that's how we were taught to do things right. Or maybe it's just in the blood, I don't know. I was in a really relaxed family. Nobody told me to do everything right. I could not make my bed and be messy, but in the meantime, I'm very particular in what I do, and you also very organized, very almost perfect. You know what I mean?
I'm a perfectionist.
You are.
That causes a lot of anxiety.
Yes.
The need to be, because none of us, some of us want to be perfectionists, such as myself. However, perfectionism is impossible. You can't be one.
It's impossible.
You're not a computer, you're not a piece of technology. I'm not. I'm simply not. I'm going to make mistakes every single day of my life.
100%.
I can say a million times, I want to be so amazing, an angel. I'll never be an angel. Not while I'm down here, That's for sure. We're just not angels, and for some people, such as myself, that can cause me a great deal of anxiety. And I spend a lot of time trying to figure out what to do with that anxiety that comes of wanting to be this perfectionist, but knowing that like it's probably never gonna happen. You know, and every single time that like I mess up, I'm like, you could do that better, you could have done that better, you'll do it better next time. And then I say to myself, okay, that's it. Let's drop this crap right now. Let's just drop it right now. And that's my key number one way of dialing down my anxiety.
That's what I do.
Just
This is so important.
let it go.
I love
just drop it. Just drop it. But how do you drop it? You could command yourself, just drop it.
Drop it,
That's
yeah.
sometimes that helps. You tell yourself, your inner self, shut up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
or you can also just drop it by just focusing on the present moment. That helps a lot, and it's a form of mindfulness meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And I also learned a very, very cool way of dealing with anxiety, because this type of method helps to take on any kind of emotion that you have but don't want to have. For example, what do I deal with more than anything else in this world, emotion-wise? Anxiety. So EFT, it's called Emotional Freedom Technique. And this technique where you state certain affirmations that you want to believe about yourself, while at the same time tapping on certain acupoints in order to be able to get into your subconscious mind and change your subconscious mind around. Like your subconscious mind may be saying stuff to you like, I must be perfect. If I'm not perfect, my whole world will just crumble away. That's one of my drawbacks that I have about myself and my subconscious mind. If I'm not perfect, life will just like cease to exist as I see it, as I know it. So I have started to tap, certain acupoints while stating.
How we do that? Maybe we should do.
We could do around it too. It's very cool. Super cool. So you start with this one. They call this the karate point chop. The karate chop point actually, and you tap on it. And you say, let's say your problem is that you are a perfectionist, but it's driving you crazy like it does me. So I say, even though I'm a perfectionist, I still do deeply love and accept myself. And I find myself to be a very lovable person. I love myself, accept myself unconditionally no matter what, even though I know that I'm imperfect a million times a day, I still do love myself. You take it up to the next point. That's the top of the head. It's a major acupoint. And then you say, this perfectionism is just driving me crazy. It's a real problem in my life because what it does is it takes away my joy for living. Every time that, you make a mistake and you drive yourself crazy, it may take away your joy for living unless you stop it, right? So the EFT actually aims at stopping these feelings, these thoughts that you have about yourself, these subconscious thoughts. So I say, nobody can be perfect. It's impossible to be perfect. Look, I'm not a robot. I was not created a computer or a fridge. I'm none of these things. I will never be perfect. You take it now to your next point, which is the temples. And you say, that's it. You use any affirmations that you want to believe about yourself. So therefore, I give up the need to be perfect. I don't need it anymore. There must have been a time in my life that I needed to be perfect, but now I know that I don't need to be perfect. I'm done with that. It's only driven me crazy. It's only made me feel bad about myself and about my life, and it's also made me unable to love people the way they deserve to be loved. And so I dropped this perfectionism need that I have within myself. Now here is on top of the lip. This is actually the 2 points that have a lot to deal with, like feelings of doubt. Like, can I really give up these feelings? And so I say, even though it seems sinful to give up the need to be perfect, I'm giving it up.
But you can.
I am giving it up.
Confirming.
I am affirming that I am giving it up right here, right now, because I deserve better. Now, even if I didn't feel that I deserve better, I'm going to tap into myself that I deserve better. with the hope and the belief that one day I'll actually believe that I deserve better.
It's almost like a prayer.
It's a prayer
for your inner self, to yourself.
Yeah, I deserve to feel good about myself 24/7. I deserve to fully enjoy this life. I deserve to feel comfortable in my own skin. As long as I insist on holding on to this perfectionist need, I'll never feel comfortable in my own skin, but I deserve better. I am a wonderful human being. I deserve unconditional love. I deserve to give myself unconditional love. Because this need for perfectionism is not an inborn trait, it's a learned trait. It's learned that you need to be a perfectionist. But now I'm ready to give all that up. I am learning how to love myself unconditionally, regardless of what I say, regardless of what I do, and regardless of how sinful what I did seems to me. I am okay exactly as I am. I don't need to be perfect any longer. I will now mommy myself in a way that I can feel good in my own skin. I'm raising myself to feel loved. I'm raising myself to believe that I am lovable and that I deserve the very, very best that life has to offer. I'm giving this to myself right now as a gift to myself. I feel good about myself. I drop this need to be a perfectionist, and along with that, I drop all the guilt that goes along with not being perfect. I drop the anxiety and the fears that go along with, I wasn't perfect. I let go of all that. If I have any anger in me, that makes me need to be perfect, or anger at myself that I'm not perfect, I now drop the anger too. And I fill myself, last point, I fill myself with so much self-love and self-compassion, self-acceptance. I am a wonderful, wonderful human being, deserving of only love in this life. I love myself.
You are literally like a goddess,
Oh, thank you!
to heal everybody. I feel so great. It's nice. It's unbelievable.
That's what EFT does. Now, if you do EFT every day of your life and you do it twice a day, you do let's say at some point in the morning. I know that with your crazy hectic schedule and Coopy and all that, I know that you can't always do it the second you roll out of bed in the morning. But at some point, sometime in the morning, take 10 minutes and do that, 5 minutes. Anything you can do.
Instead of phone.
Just take 5 minutes and just do a round of EFT. Now you see what you have to do. And at night, sometime late at night, do that again.
You know what? When you were doing all that, I actually remember one of my friends. She told me about one of the psychologists, a Russian psychologist, and she's taking care of relationship part, and also if people have all those problems like what we were talking about. So she had really useful video to actually almost sum up what you said. She said that just accept yourself as you are, that you are a normal, casual person. Don't think that, don't put that burden on your shoulders. I mean, yes, we all very interesting and unique and in our own way, and nobody is the same, right? But just let yourself know that you are like everybody else. And when you feel like you're everybody else, equal in the souls and spirits, and you are just a human, and you are not someone who need to be something like that, perfect, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I accepted that I am as I am, I'm normal, I'm casual. I didn't have the need to feel like that my house has to be certain way or my clothes has to be certain way. Yes, of course, I still like to dress up, but it doesn't give me that weight and heavy, feeling that I must to thrive. Used to be, no, I must to come and become lawyer in the United States. that was.
Oh yeah, I remember those days.
Remember?
I do
that
remember
when I
those
met you at
days.
Ritz-Carlton?
That's right.
Yeah. I was obsessive about it, and you know, I had the client from Disney, like she was working in Disney as a lawyer, and she said to me, and I used to do her nails, and she said, you must go, you know, because immigrants, they speak a few languages, you will be such a successful lawyer. And I was exhausting myself, work, kid, then running to Kaplan uptown to study with all American kids whose English is like their native language, and they were laughing at me. And I'm like, okay, I know this logic games because I'm smart, but sometimes you just don't understand them. Because in the law test, they actually trick your mind.
Right.
They tell you like unusual things, like you know, something like baloney. You know what I mean? So to me, it's almost like I already have problems with understanding because I am Russian speaker. You know what I mean? But they also on top of it confusing you. I like literally my mind was going this way. And because I'm not perfect, and one day my friend said, Merrick, remember Merrick?
Merrick, yeah.
Merrick, she told me, she said, Nina, I admire you. You came to this country and you just think anything is possible. Just give yourself a break. It's okay not to be a lawyer in the first generation. And you know,
Like Adam can become a lawyer.
yeah, exactly. Adam could. Yeah, maybe. Hopefully, I don't know. FBI or
So could Esther, actually.
yes, I told her she has to be doctor. Like I really.
Gives it to you
she's-
straight.
Yes, she's amazing. She could be that, either lawyer or doctor, because her mind is really beyond.
It
IQ.
is.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So we're normal people.
That's good. You know, that's very comforting because for a while I didn't think I was.
We are. Dina.
Thank God. It's good to be a normal person.
It takes a lot of.
Takes a lot of weight off of you.
That's it.
You know, you go places and it seems like so many people, they just expect perfectionism. The second you say something that they don't like, the second you do something that they don't like, they're all like, oh, why'd you say that?
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
Why
Don't
you
you know
like
that that was the wrong thing to say? Don't you know that was the wrong thing to do?
Yeah.
But people who are very anxious and people who feel very, very guilt-ridden, they think that, oh, maybe, you know, look, she's yelling at me. He's yelling at me. He's criticizing me. Maybe
Yeah.
I did
Maybe
something
I
wrong.
am.
Maybe I'm a bad
Maybe I
person.
am, yeah.
A lot of people out there, including myself, have, you know, fallen under that spell. That just because somebody's criticizing us, wagging their finger at us, means that we're bad people. But what we need to know, and what EFT helps out tremendously with, is that you are not a bad person.
Yeah,
You can be anything, anybody that you put it into your mind that you are. Just because somebody's telling you from childhood or from whatever, from the store,
Right.
that you're a bad guy, doesn't mean that you're a bad guy.
Absolutely.
You know, it just means that you may be very sensitive to
Yes.
people when they use their words. And unfortunately, many times people's words are not very pleasant.
Yeah, and they're rough and
They're rough. They don't know
they're
how to
rough
speak.
sometimes. Yeah,
Yeah.
like especially a lot of people, they just don't think that a lot of things they say has such a meaning.
Impact, yeah.
an impact.
But it does. Maybe because I'm such a sensitive person
Me too.
myself. That's why I really do watch and monitor everything that I say. But maybe that's why I feel very, very guilty because I'm so sensitive when I feel like I said the wrong thing. But at the same time, when I do that, it's kind of like, you know, pitying the wrong party.
Yes.
You know, I should be pitying and having empathy toward myself, instead I'm like so upset about what I said to her, what I did to her, what I said to this one, what I said, how I acted, how I looked, blah, 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 blah. But while I'm sitting there giving them all that pity, I have zero pity on myself, and then I wind up like treating myself like a vulture, you know?
Yeah.
I wind up really going down heavy on myself, but that's wrong. It's like, I call that, I think other psychologists do, misplaced pity.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a lot of sensitive people do that. They sit there feeling bad all the time about what they did to the other guy, but at the
Yes.
same time, they fail to realize that they are also they're neglecting themselves.
Yes.
They are also a person who deserves as much mercy as the next guy. And now you're the only one who can give yourself mercy at the end of the day.
100%.
You can have a million best friends telling you how great you are, how amazing, but at the end of the day, if you don't give yourself mercy, you know, what good is your
How
friend's words?
interesting also when you are starting like standing up for yourself and saying like and literally focusing on yourself, on your well-being, on your psychological well-being, on a lot of things, and it's almost like, you know, it's almost like look like that we are selfish to other people. How interesting is that we used to give so much to everybody, but when we are actually inward, everything, all that love, all that care into ourselves, people look at us that we're almost bad guys.
Yeah,
They're bad guys. They didn't call me today. Did you think why I didn't call? Maybe I was sick, or maybe I was tired. A lot of times, because I have a lot of people I talk about, because I'm in all this advertising.
you're in a lot of things.
Yeah, and a lot of things, and I just feel like I need to just be quiet and not to talk. And I have a lot of people calling me from LA or from Vegas, and I love them, and they know, and normal people, my friends, they understand. They know. I text them, I say, I'm sleeping now, that's it. It's 10 o'clock, I cannot talk and entertain anyone, and myself as well. I just need to be quiet and prepared for my sleep, so in the morning I can be back again to the show.
That's right.
So, and you know, a lot of people, they don't understand that sometimes. I see that. That. They're almost like offended at me, and I think in the end of the day, you shouldn't feel like you said. You just focus on yourself and you say, no, you cannot think, oh, how they felt? Did they feel bad? No. Doesn't matter how they felt.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
What matters, you had 8 hours of sleep and you didn't collapse.
That's right.
And you didn't yell at your manager at work because you were angry. That's what matters. So I changed a lot.
Yeah.
I changed a lot. And yes, maybe it looks a little bit tough, but
it's tough love.
It's tough love
on the self, and it's tough love on others.
Yes, and maybe they should love themselves the same way.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah. You know, a lot of times when people are very, very tough on themselves, they're extremely tough on other people. Like if they just realize what it would be like to sit back, relax, and take care of yourself, then they wouldn't go down heavy on you. Well, why weren't you there for me?
100%.
Because if they were only there for themselves, then they wouldn't rely on you. I'll be there for them.
Be there for yourself.
Be there for everybody. Just be there for yourself.
Just love yourself.
And then you'll need people less.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have friends. I adore my friends. I adore Nina.
Touch yourself.
Yeah. But what you should do all the time is love yourself first. Take care of the numero uno. Because as selfish as that sounds, everybody is a numero uno.
Yes.
Each and every one of us is the most important person in our own lives. If you can't take care of yourself, who is going to take care of you? Nobody can be there for you as much as you are there for yourself. Like I was saying a little bit earlier in the show, you know, if you start relying on other people to tell you how amazing and how great everything is and how wonderful you are, that's great while they're there and it's great while they're giving you words of encouragement. But what happens when they go home and you're left with yourself?
Yes.
That, you know, it's at that point in time that you have to count on your relationship with yourself to get yourself through the night.
Totally.
Yeah. So EFT is amazing, absolutely amazing. So is deep breathing, just taking a few minutes to just breathe in and breathe out and breathe in and breathe out. Yoga is also
so
great.
important, like you said it, that you have to be there for yourself. This relationship is the most important relationship, and nobody can love you as much as you love yourself.
That's right.
And care about yourself, and that's almost like how you find yourself. I think that's home, right?
That is home.
That is home.
Yeah.
So you love and it's there, and you're not looking for love in anyone's else's heart because you are already sufficient.
That's it. That's the idea.
Yes,
That's
you are
the whole
already
idea.
there. So,
Yeah. So, anyways, it's the fear and anxiety that really drive us away from ourselves and like drive us to need people and to count on people and to say to other people, well, it's 10 o'clock and I need you. Nina, why are you sleeping? It's fear and anxiety that drive a person to need so many people and to need anyone outside of yourself. You know, you could be in the most amazing relationship with somebody whom you adore, but at the end of the day, how can they help you? They go to sleep eventually. You need to go to sleep, but if you're dealing with so much fear and anxiety, you're just gonna hate on yourself all night long. You become your own inner terrorist that basically chases you around, keeps telling you that you need to be perfect, keeps telling you, calling out all your faults, keeps on telling you everything that you did wrong that day and 30 years ago. So the idea is to banish the fear and the anxiety. The EFT helps out tremendously. Just choosing life, choosing presence over past, and choosing presence over future helps out tremendously. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I am Dina Nierenberg, hostess of Life as I See It with my friend Nina Avakian, my co-hostess. Take care, be well, bye-bye. Love you all. Bye.